Really happy with that win, obviously. The last two times we've gotten together, they've been fun to watch, fun to be a part of. Three overtimes last year, overtime again tonight, come down to the last shot. You know, they're a good ball club. They're very physical. Obviously, they pride themselves on being tough and physical on the glass. But I just thought our guys kept battling and stayed mentally tough. I thought, obviously we were up four with about under a minute to go. I don't know the exact time on the clock. We're up two with 6, 7 seconds to go, and we turned the ball over on the inbounds pass. They made two free throws to tie it. And then Cam, I thought, did a great job getting length of the floor right to the bucket for the last shot of regulation. Then they come out and score the first 5 points of overtime. So they had a 9-0 run if you look at the last bit of the regulation and to start overtime. And I told our team I just think a mentally weak or soft team kind of wilts for another minute and you're in big trouble. And I just thought we stayed together, got next play mentality, and found ourselves up one and needed a big stop, and we were able to get it. But I just thought a lot of really big plays at different moments. I thought Cam's drive was big, Eli's three big, and then Dishman made two huge free throws when we're down one with less than 10 to go. Questions?
You guys were able to contain them on the wings really well. Players like Justin Buford were huge in slowing down some guys like Gaines and Buffin from getting to the rim. But what did you see from your wings defensively tonight?
I just thought we kept a kind of hat on a hat. We did a really good job, I thought, of communicating through off-ball action and didn't find ourselves a step or two behind on their catches. There just weren't many breakdowns. Now it's hard enough to keep them in front of you when you're ready for them. If you have any slip-ups and somebody calls a switch and the other guy thought you said stay or didn't hear you call switch, they score. They're good, they're athletic, they're big, they're physical. Those lead to easy layups and dunks for them. And I just thought we did a good job of, taking the scout to the floor.
Coach, you went down big on the boards early. Trey Jemison was kind of getting to the rim.
Yeah.
Jared in. What does a player like him bring to a physical game like this?
Well, he just has to be a physical presence. Trey Jemison is a big, strong, athletic post player. And, Dish had an early foul, so we brought in Jared, and I just thought he used his physicality as well to, not make those so easy. And, we got to keep getting that from him.
Yeah, they brought out that 1-3-1 trap. It seemed to give y'all a little trouble early. How did y'all figure out how to break it down and eventually start getting some good looks against that particular defensive block?
We just had to find the open gaps. In our defenses, there are open gaps everywhere. So, we just worked the ball around the perimeter until we found the open gap, and they fell back in the 2-3 zone. So we went from there.
I know they teach you with the 1-3-1 to always attack, the center, but it's a little bit harder when Jemison's
right, yeah.
the center there. Mm-hmm. How were y'all able to sort of spin them out of rotation on that thing and being able to get guys like Dishman on the baseline?
Okay, so Dishman, he plays the short corner a lot. So if we see a guy over the top, we can hit that guy and right there to Dishman for the short corner. And, like I said, they fall back in the 2-3 when that happens. So it was just basically finding the open gaps. That's all it was really to it.
Yeah, it feels like when you're in a game, it's very hard for whoever's guarding you to speed you up. You control your own pace. Do you feel like you're in control of the game when you're in there?
Yeah, of course. I've been playing like that my whole life basically, and growing up I used to play with older people, so I used to have to learn like how to not play sped up all the time. So yeah, that just comes from playing basketball all the time, learning at a young age. So.
What do you say to each other when you go down quick 5 points in the overtime?
We just had to have, like Coach said, a next play mentality. We can't dwell on the past. So let's get it back in the next one. We got to keep working, keep finding the open gaps, keep getting good looks at the rim, and just keep going. A lot of time left.
Coach, you are getting a lot of the blocks this season, not from the bigs necessarily, but a lot from your wings. Obviously, when you got a guy like T. Leonard that can jump as high as he can, sort of splitting the difference. But Buford, Lawrence getting involved tonight. How big is that to have guys like that that can get?
Yeah,
out
it's
there?
real important. When Dish gives up size most nights when he's out there, and just to have the threat, he's really strong and has a lower center of gravity. So there are nights where, although he's giving up a little bit of size, they can't just back him down real easy. So as long as he's not giving up angles, our weak side length from T and Elias and Eli and Justin Buford can just make guys a little hesitant, have to think about the weak side shot blocker. It was big. It was really big for us tonight. We got kind of beat up on the offensive glass and had more turnovers than them. Usually when another team shoots almost 80 shots, you're going to have a hard time winning. But, again, I thought although they got a lot of O boards, they didn't end up with 50 second chance points. They had 27 O boards. But averaged less than really a point for each O board, 21 second chance points.
Cam, while we're on the topic, what was the reaction to Eli's block on Jimison when he was about to get that dunk to go up 3?
Man, yeah, that was very insane. I believe it was Eric Gaines who had went right past him, and he was behind. So once that normally happens, it's not too much you can do, but it's a big effort by him to get back into play and make that big play for us. So yes, sir.
Dish, when you're preparing for this game and you're preparing for a matchup that's 6'11", 260, the size of a small vehicle, how do you prepare for a guy like that?
It's really tough to prepare for when you're not going against that in practice. But once I get on the court, I just know I got to be tough, be physical with him. I know he's going to be a lot bigger, a lot taller, and I know it's going to be a physical game as I play. As I first couple plays, get an adjustment into how he's playing and what I need to do to score.
Jimison fouls you on that last drive, 7 seconds left, going to line with 2 shots, give your team away. What's going through your head in those moments?
Definitely the past few games against them. I knew we needed the W, and so I dug deep and made sure I knocked the first one in. Once I made it, it was felt some relief. So it was a sense of calmness, and I was able to just knock the second one in pretty easy, and it's how it went.
Coach, what was your message in that last timeout before the 2 big free throws?
Just not to give up an offensive rebound. In those moments, sometimes human nature is the shot goes up with a couple of seconds left, and you ball watch it. When you're down one in that moment, there's no penalty for crashing. I mean, you're going to send everybody hard to the glass because if you miss it, and the leak out is inconsequential at that point. So we knew that if they get it on the glass early or get the shot up early, they're going to start getting downhill. So just made sure we kept a hat on a hat and forced a tough shot. And he made it. Just fortunately made it after the clock.
For the players, you heard Coach say earlier, a weaker team with Wilt here. That was a really physical game, but you guys didn't back down for a second. Does that message really resonate with you guys?
Definitely. They crashed the glass probably harder than any team we played against all season. It was a big-time thing that we didn't give up on the play after they got a rebound. Sometimes we were able to dig it out. Sometimes we made sure to contest a shot and grab the next one. So I think that was a big part of toughness and crashing the glass.
Dish, we've been talking about the amount of blocks you guys have been getting. When you have guys that can erase stuff at the rim, like you and Dish, like you and T and Elias, does it kind of get you excited a little bit when those guys are racing, you can get out and run fast break?
Definitely. Sometimes we get some big-time blocks. Eli had a big-time block. I came over to help, and he had a free bucket, but Eli was able to block it. I was able to grab the rebound. So I think that ability is huge for us. We protect the rim pretty well, and I think that's a big part of how we get out in transition.
Coach Justin Porter gave you some big minutes when Cam got into some foul trouble early.
Yep.
What was he doing well out there to affect the game and able to get some shots at the rim?
Yeah, I thought he defended well. Didn't get hung up on. They were setting a lot of ball screens. Anybody would with a good player like Eric Gaines. He was the facilitator. So I just thought he did a nice job defensively and also just used some of his speed to kind of impact the game. He had a couple of nice open court, full drive layups. Almost had the one to end the first half. I just think when he's able to use his speed and stay under control, it can really influence the game. And it's hard when you're a 6-foot guard and the other team's in that 1-3-1, and there's a big athlete on the wing, there's a 6'8" guy at the top, and a 7-footer right in front of you. There aren't too many holes to throw the ball. Some guys with some length, whether it's Elias or T, Eli got size that matches them. He doesn't. And so to not turn it over and over and over was really big when Cam got in some foul trouble. He had 2 with, 4 or 5 minutes to go in the first half, and then picked up his 4th there with, 5 or 6 minutes to go in the game, maybe 6 or 7. Those were big minutes. Big minutes.
So,
You sure? How are they different without each other?
Sorry?
How are they different without each other?
Well, he's a terrific scorer, a high volume shot taker, and he plays a lot of minutes. So now all of a sudden, some other guys that may not get to shoot it as often are called upon, and he's a dynamic offensive player. Can shoot quick early shots in the shot clock. They play a little bit deeper into the shot clock, I would say, offensively. He can find ways to get himself open, although he's not a big guy, big stature. But you kind of have to let, in my opinion, sometimes, and I'd imagine AK agrees, you got to let him shoot some in transition, because he might not be able to shake a 6'5" or 6'7" athlete in set offense. You slow the ball down, and now he's the smallest guy on the floor, and you've really got to find ways to get him open. Sometimes he's gotten himself open in the flow of up and down transition ball.
I assume you thought he was going to play, or?
We prepared for him to play. We saw that he didn't play against La Tech, but up until they were penciling the starting lineup, we had prepared over the last couple of days for him playing.
So you're a team. What do you think your team does best offensively?
Offensively, I think we're at our best when we also get out and run in transition. We to the point these guys are making, and you guys are making as well. We had 12 blocks. When we're able to get defensive rebounds, block shots, and play out in transition, now guys like you got the ball in a really, really good guard's hand and can find guys that can get on the rim. And so I think it's where we're at our best.
Are you concerned about the three-point shooting from this team?
I tell our guys, as long as we're taking good shots and shots that we practice, that they're predictable shots, then I don't mind them. If you're shooting an unpredictable shot, it's hard for your teammates to go get offensive rebounds. And we got too many good rebounders out there for you to take a bad shot that surprised somebody. Now what were you thinking? You never get those rebounds because everybody on the floor was shocked you shot the ball. And so as long as we are taking predictable shots, I don't worry too much about the percentages.
so like a tip tonight, maybe past bedtime with a couple people in the crowd, but they were able to come alive late.
Man, it was great. Anytime it's a late tip and it's on TV, it kind of gives you, sometimes I don't want to say the excuse, but, you can stay home and watch it on TV, and as soon as the game's over, roll over and go to sleep. And so for the folks that ventured out, we definitely appreciate it because our guys feed off of it. It was great having them back, and, be nice for these guys walking across campus tomorrow, have a little bit more pep in their step after that win.